Well, welcome back, somewhat 200 plus miles north and northwest from St Mary's to the Etihad Stadium. We're not really here, and it is at half-time. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. And if you've been able to listen to the Alistair Mann commentary on the Manchester City app, you'll note the frustration that certainly is seeping through into what is happening on a field which has been almost dominated by Manchester City throughout that first half, and yet that mistake that led to the Che Adams goal means that it is that City are behind so far in this game. Michael Brown and Paul Dickov alongside me. Natalie Pavlek is keeping an eye on some of your social media messages as well. We'll come to all three as we consider a bit of a strange scoreline given what has happened on the field, Paul, because there is a sense, isn't there, that Manchester City have done everything but score so far. Yeah,
they've been totally dominant. And like many times this season, we seem to get punished by any little mistakes. The one mistake that's been made in the first half is Zinchenko giving the ball away, and Che Adams doesn't look like a player that's not scored in 30-odd league games. The way he finished it off. But apart from that, it's been all Manchester City. Dominating, getting the ball wide, getting crosses in the box, hitting the post. Goalkeepers made a couple of really good saves. Southampton defence getting blocks in, but Manchester City have been here many times before, and trying to break teams down, and they just grind them down, and as disappointing as 1-0 down the second half, I expect them to get back in it.
It's taken an odd late goal to beat Southampton over the course of the last 2 or 3 years, but City have still found it, and there is plenty of time left for them to do that. But Michael, the goal is interesting because one thing that you know about Southampton is that they press you hard, they press you high, and so if you are in any sort of position in your defensive third, you've got to be careful about that, and that was the mistake that City made today. You've got to be careful. You see Zinchenko driving inside of the pitch. He decides to do that drag back and gets caught, but Che Adams was very, very quick to be aware. Good awareness, as Paul just said, not to score. It's his first ever Premier League goal, and it comes from the mistake from Zinchenko. But he had a lot of work to do, right over, obviously, a great finish over Ederson. But then it's about the reaction of Manchester City. They've then dominated the possession, 68% or whatever possession. So it's comfortable, creating opportunities, starting to drive this Southampton side back. So they've got to continue to do so. Can they up the tempo slightly? Obviously got the bench, they've got reinforcements if needed, but there's certainly enough on that pitch to start creating opportunities and just being a little bit sharper. There is a sense, isn't there, Paul, because there is, of all the changes, there is a change at both full-back positions, and João Cancelo, who's come into the side at right-back, has been the primary outlet, if you like. He laid on a chance that Jesus from close order hit over the bar, but it has been that way round, hasn't it? Yeah, it has, and João Cancelo going forward is very, very good. He's a very attack-minded full-back, and with Mahrez sort of wanting to go inside quite a lot on his left foot, that allows Cancelo to get down there on the right-hand side, and he's created a few chances, whereas on the other side, Zinchenko, like Michael said, he's tucking in a little bit more. Let's go to Natalie. Natalie, what's been the sense of what people have had to say on social media? There's plenty to discuss so far, not only about this match, but of course everything that's going on at the moment. But what have people been saying?
Yeah, we're getting a good mix on social media. I've got an excellent first tweet that I'm loving now. I love some of the Twitter names that we get as well coming through. So MXCXFXC1 has said, Ederson is a better passer than at least 50% of the Premier League midfielders, isn't he? Please, Pep, let's play him outfield for one game. I mean, I would definitely be up for seeing that. I'd definitely be up for seeing him take penalties as well. Now, we are also very respectful to Southampton and to that goal. And we've got Kentster MCFC saying that was a cracking finish, to be fair. Also the Invisible Man saying what a finish from that lad, to be fair. Matt Letitia, obviously Southampton legend, saying what a goal. And you've got Gary Lineker as well commenting as first Premier Leagues go, that was an absolute beauty for Che Adams. Some more City related tweets. Adam Smith has said Cancelo looking like KDB on those crosses, come on City, something that we mentioned already there. And Nathan Blue Moon 82. I think Blue Moon, all the Blue Moon Twitter handles must be taken up by now. Blue Moon 82, how on earth didn't we score there? Come on City. And I bet that was referring to those 3 chances that we had in quick succession. Steve Tudor 123 has said this has been one of the most entertaining Premier League halves since football's return. And then we've got some other great tweets coming through. Akio Fernandez, Blue Wolf 09, another excellent City Twitter handle. To be fair, McCarthy has denied like 3 concrete goals. And then we've got another one from Annie Kett saying Cancelo is looking amazing. So yeah, respect to Southampton's goal, but I think we're all recognising on social media as well how dominant we have been for most of that second half. Hopefully Southampton will not be able to hang on too much longer as we keep building up momentum there. So yes, that is the message on social media, Hugh.
Nat, thank you very much indeed. Yes, quite the team against whom to score your first Premier League goal, indeed your first club goal for Jay Adams, signed for £50 million last summer. He has not scored in 29 appearances for his new club until today, and quite the circumstances as well, as we've mentioned. If you will see it later, you will understand that we're talking about a particularly impressive finish. But Michael, we've talked about the response and Alex McCarthy making those saves. Two in quick succession, either side of Fernandinho hitting the post. So City have had the chances. You can't sense really that Southampton sitting back and inviting those chances is particularly sustainable for another 45 minutes.
It's going to be difficult for them, but what really pleased me, we talked about Fernandinho, and for him to hit the post, like, go on, please, midfielder, holding player, we could talk about that at half-time. I thought it was in, it wasn't to be. And as you say, Alex McCarthy, a fantastic reaction save, I think it was from a David Silva header. And just going on to David Silva, you know, people are saying they want to see him live, they want to get these opportunities to see him. It would be great for him to have got a goal. So keep the pressure on, and surely the goal's got to come soon.
Yeah, perhaps if we have an opportunity during half-time, or maybe after the game, we'll spend some time talking about David Silva, bearing in mind it is 10 years to the week that he signed for Manchester City, and those days that he will be a Blue are dwindling away over the course of the next month and a half or so. But what have you made of the way that Manchester City are trying to score their goals, Paul? Because there is a rearguard effort now from Southampton. Southampton will attempt to break, but at the moment it seems to have settled into a bit of a pattern.
Yeah, it does, and Southampton seem happy to defend the width of the 18-yard box and defend in there. I know different formation, but we've seen Wolves do that here earlier on in the season and almost encourage crosses into the box, you know, which we've done quite a few times. But, you know, as I said before, Manchester City have been in this position many times before. You know, probably 90% of the teams they play against want to defend deep and defend in their 18-yard box and deny them any space in behind. So the players have got on the pitch, David, Bernardo, Mahrez, they just need a little bit of magic now, Raheem. And if that's not going to happen, they've obviously got KDB, Phil Foden, and the bench isn't that bad either.
Yeah, and the fact that you can get 5 players off that bench is quite the fillip for Pep Guardiola, you must imagine. But I want to talk to you both about the lack of space that Southampton are going to try and afford Manchester City. If you're a striker, if you're Gabriel Jesus in those situations, I mean, the ball was fizzed across to him at that chance. It was pretty difficult. He probably didn't see it until the last minute, and it had quite some pace on it from Joao Cancelo. But if you've not got any space, how do you try and find it? Are you trying to literally create it on your own, or are you just thinking it's going to break to me and I'm going to have to be ready?
I think with the players that they've got in the team, you know, you rely on your teammates to create that space for you. You know, clever players, Bernardo, David Silva. We've seen David already making a couple of late runs into the box, and you've just got to take it off your wide players and the 2 central midfielders in there, but not get despondent about it either. You know, just believe. You've got to be mentally so strong when teams, and when you're centre forward and you're playing one up top against a team that's defending so deep, you've just got to be so positive in your mind all the time, and believe that you're going to get a chance and take it when that chance comes.
Because Pep Guardiola, Michael, doesn't he? He likes to overload in central midfield so that he's got some space out wide. Is he going to try and use the width as much as possible, even if it's not from Zinchenko because he's playing on the inside, but anybody who can get as wide as possible?
I think that's what they will do. They will try and pull on shoulders, try and make those runs. The third man run's fantastic from Manchester City as it's set into Gabriel Jesus, or just inside an underlap run almost from a wide player. We see Manchester City very successful with that. But you know, with regards to Gabriel Jesus, it's just about playing in between the fullbacks, on shoulders, time as a runs. But you need a couple of sets first for then to be able to get the next one in. So it's the timing. And generally, Manchester City have that perfect. We've just seen that little sliding pass that splits through defences. So we need one of those.
Yeah, there have been a few of those that have nearly found their target, and there have been so many blocks. You see it so often in those rearguard actions, don't you? People throwing themselves in front of the ball. Anything will do. And at the moment, it's been successful for Southampton. 1-0 it is to them at the break. Natalie, what more have we got?
Yeah, we've got more tweets coming through, and like I said, we do absolutely love hearing your opinions. We like hearing positive opinions, we like hearing not so positive opinions. Everything is welcome here on We're Not Really Here. And just to show that, we've got a nice mix of a few tweets to share with you as well. First of all, a one here for Paul, and it's come from Vic Bird, and it says, great to see official P. Dickov on the WNRH, excellent use of the hashtag, show. Hello from all of us in Chicago at the Chicago MCFC official support supporters club. So I'm guessing that was a trip that Paul took on one of his many round-the-world City ventures. Also, we've got a tweet here from Sam Lee, who is the Manchester City correspondent for The Athletic, and he says, criticising Ederson for being in that position is a bit like criticising Bernardo Silva for that little cushioned header that Townsend volleyed in for Palace last season. They're supposed to do that. It's rare to be caught out. And then just to show you how we do like to share a nice mix of opinions on the programme, we've got one from Crook DPC, who said, that is our worst half since the return. Some individual poor performances and a lack of intensity and control. Still in it, though, and more than capable of winning. Over to you, Hugh.
Natalie, thank you very much indeed. Yes, some of those changes being potentially prepared for Manchester City. We can tell you that at St Mary's already Rodri and Phil Foden are doing a fairly intensive warm-up at half-time. A City trail by a goal to nil. Don't forget, we'll be back here after the game as well for some post-match considered thoughts. Let's spend some time then, just in case other people rather than David Silva focus in on the second half. There is that sense, isn't there, amongst City fans? You want to somehow get an opportunity to see him one more time. It's impossible, frankly, at the moment, but just a sneak peek somehow, because it's such a special career here that's coming to an end.
Well, it's very, very difficult to do, as we know. But actually, I've just spoke to a journalist who's at the actual Southampton game, and the one thing he said to me, please, David Silva be playing. It might be the last opportunity. So this is a guy who doesn't even like Manchester City, doesn't support Manchester City, but he's working on the game, and what he wants to see is David Silva. So that tells you everything about the player we've witnessed over the last 10 years, and hopefully you all get a little glimpse of him, and hopefully he can, as I say, get a goal and get some good performances.
Yeah, we're lucky enough. We've been able to see him over the years, Paul. You've been able to see him almost more than anybody else. So, yeah, you can understand why people want to do that.
Yeah, you can, especially the Manchester City fans. He's adored. You know, he's an absolute hero for them here, and not just the fans want to see David Silva for one last time. I'm sure David will want to see the fans again, and you know, we've said before. I know the club being as how they are, that won't be the last we've seen of David Silva. You know, there'll be something planned, some extravaganza to give him the send-off that he deserves.
I'm sure there will be, and yes, it's the absence makes the heart grow fonder cliche, isn't it? You'll miss him when he's gone, that's for sure. Maybe you're missing him even now. He is part of the Manchester City side that is trailing at half-time at the moment on the South Coast. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. We'll be back here again on We're Not Really Here after the game, but for now, if you're on the Manchester City app, enjoy commentary. Otherwise, we'll see you after the game.